April 22nd, 1915, Belgium. The small town of Ypres, the western front of the First World War. It was a quiet spring evening. French and Canadian soldiers sat in their trenches, watched the sunset, and waited for the usual artillery exchange. Nothing suggested that this day would forever change the history of warfare and humanity. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, a light breeze blew from the German positions, and with it came something the world had never seen before. A massive yellow-green cloud slowly began crawling across the ground. Low, heavy, it crept along the grass and filled every hollow, every trench, every crack. It was chlorine. 180 tons of chlorine from 6,000 steel cylinders that German soldiers had secretly buried along the front lines several weeks earlier. The Allied soldiers did not understand what was happening. Some thought it was a smokescreen. Some simply watched the cloud with curiosity. And then the cloud reached the trenches. When chlorine comes into contact with moist lungs, it turns into hydrochloric acid. People were literally drowning from the inside. Those who tried to run and stood up straight inhaled even more gas. Those who hid at the bottom of the trench did too, because chlorine is heavier than air and sinks downward. Within minutes, between 1,000 and 5,000 people were dead. Another 10,000 suffered severe lung damage. Many of them died in hospitals over the following days in terrible agony. The most horrifying part of this story is that the German High Command was not prepared for its own success. They had not expected the weapon to be so devastatingly effective and had not positioned enough troops to exploit the gap that had opened in the Allied defenses. The opportunity was lost, but the genie was out of the bottle. Within just a few months, chemical weapons were being used by all sides of the conflict. Phosgene, mustard gas, hydrogen cyanide. By the end of the war, more than 100,000 people had been killed by chemical weapons. Another 1 million were maimed for life.